Now, I've got to keep calling out COVID hysteria, of course. Infections are high in this country, but there are signs that they've peaked in some of the states at least, and the hospitalisation and ICU rates are heading down too, which is great. We do need to know more, of course, about the COVID deaths. We're just given the numbers and people get very, very frightened about them. But as you heard from Professor Peter Collignon earlier in the week, it looks like we're not seeing a lot of additional mortality in this country. In large part, the virus is taking lives that might well have been taken by other ailments or infections in another time. All deaths are sad, of course, and we extend our sympathies to the families of anybody who's lost their lives. But it's important to learn more and provide more context around the COVID death toll, where those who die are usually above the average life expectancy and suffering at least one comorbidity. Now, this is not to downplay a serious pandemic, a serious health challenge, or any deaths, but it is to make sure that we're dealing in facts and not promoting undue anxiety. We remain in this country in a remarkably good position. The vulnerable are protected as much as they can be with 3 jabs, and in the main we've been able to get everything in place before the virus has become widespread, as was always inevitable. The main problem is states like WA who seem to pretend that they can avoid the virus forever. They can't, and they need to get on with it. And of course, as you know, it's not just WA. There are large numbers of people right across the country who support that sort of attitude. And it's little wonder when the politicians keep feeding them catastrophist assessments day in and day out. Listen to Labor's federal health spokesperson.
Around 5,000 people in hospital. Over the last 2 days alone, more than 150 people have lost their lives. So, dozens of Australians are losing their lives every day to this disease. And, there's no sense that is going to drop off very, very soon because there's obviously the lag factor there. So, I think there is good reason to hope we've passed the peak, but that's not to say that there's not a very serious crisis still gripping the country. I mean, this is a very serious wave we're facing. Pressure on our hospitals we've not seen before in the pandemic, and a death rate that is very, very serious and obviously resulting in enormous widespread tragedy, grief and loss.
There you go. Oh, it's all very, very grim. Why not deal in reality? Why not reassure people? Why not be bipartisan at a time like this? Instead, there are politicians chasing votes, trying to hurt their political opponents by raising fears and anxiety. It's pretty ugly politics. And I hope most Australians see right through it.